But in the
Yeah.
meantime, we've got LordRaphael. Uh, Currently, the scores are 0-0. But LordRaphael spawning up here in the northwestern side of the map, playing the red Russians, and Major Dark down here in the southeastern side of the map, playing as the blue Dutch.
Yeah. I do wanna point out real quick that LordRaphael's, he does have like a first hunt and second hunt, but his third hunt might be a bit far. What do you think?
For LordRaphael or for Major Dark, the Dutch player?
For Raphael, he might have a third hunt that's a bit
Oh, I see.
far.
Um, yeah, his third hunt I guess is a little far, but I think it's reasonable. Whereas Major Dark, he has maybe. I think his hunts are a little bit. He has three hunts, but his fourth hunt I think is a little tough to get to.
Yeah, it's
Um,
probably fair. I think we can go.
yeah, I think in this case both players have not two great hunts. Maybe worse than the map
Yeah,
would be
I
normal,
think
but
you're right. It could be better for both, but it's at least fair.
yeah. So I'm gonna take a quick look at the players' decks. LordRaphael has seems like a pretty standard um, Russian deck. He has the actually interestingly the Strelot Horde card in Age 4, which I actually didn't realize that it looks like on the Asian Dynasties it gives 10% Strelot HP. I didn't
Yeah,
know that that was the case. Major Dark, meanwhile, pretty typical Dutch deck as well. Has 6 Acapels in this deck, 7 Black Riders, and then 3 Little Bombards in Age 4 available to him if you wanted to.
oh wow. I doubt we'll see them in play,
Yeah.
but it's that would be cool at least.
Yeah.
And Raffles going for a market start, so we might see a 17 will H up instead of the more standard 14 H up. If he chooses to eat the llamas early, he could age up at. He could still age up 14 wills. We'll have to see.
Quick thing about the treasures is Major Dark did pick up the 105 coin. LordRaphael, meanwhile, got 70 wood and 100 food.
Oh,
LordRaphael, when he was taking that treasure, he did lose a little bit of Explorer hit points because he was fighting against Blowgunners as well as Major Dark's Envoy. But still, his Explorer is doing okay. Major Dark possibly going to try to cut the Explorer off up here at the top, but I don't think
yeah, he's
it's going to
going
be.
for the flank, and we see Major Dark. He's aging super early. He
Yeah.
aged at around 2. Did he age 14 wills?
He has 15. Well, he has actually one
He
in
aged
Q,
14.
so yeah, he must have
Yeah,
aged
he aged
14.
14. Yeah, that's quite nice versus Russia.
Yeah. Then again, though, we see that LordRaphael, he's going for this economic play right now, right? He's got this market. I don't know if he's even. He's probably going
Yeah,
to go for a forward base, but he's certainly not going to be trying to play this out very aggressively right now.
yeah. But we see he got a super nice age time despite going for the market
Yeah.
because of the food treasure, as well as eating the 2 llamas he picked up. He chose to eat them right away to speed up his age up a bit.
Yeah, so yeah, actually really nice age up timing. It looks like he'll be getting into Colonial at 4:30, which is pretty early for the Russians. He does have 3 villagers going
Yeah,
forward, so actually this could be pretty aggressive out of him. Oh, and very quick thing, thank you to ESOC TV for the $50 donation, saying that
oh,
yes, and then commenting that if Major Dark wins a game, that ESOC TV, whoever that person is, will be donating an additional $50. So we do hope that Major
oh,
Dark takes
interesting.
a game out of this, I suppose.
Yeah, he's building a bank with a lot of villagers. I think there's the maximum.
Yeah, it looks like 8 villagers on this bank. Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to get it up somehow, I guess.
and
So
we do see the forward blockhouse getting up. It's quite forward. Maybe he could place it even further, but it does secure a mine and 2 hunts, sort of. That's in range.
yeah, it looks like it might be hard. Major Dark possibly should have heard that hunt closer to him already because now it is in the Black House radius, and so it's going to be harder to manage. Major Dark
yeah.
does get these 2 banks going up now. His second bank is coming up. LordRaphael, meanwhile, he has aged up to Colonial. He does have units being shipped. No units in queue just yet in terms of military units, but I do expect, okay, the 10 streetlets is going down, and most likely a 5 Cossack shipment coming out any moment now.
Yeah, and we do not yet see any military building from Major Dark. Maybe we'll see something come down from he has a lot of wood stacked right now.
Yeah, LordRaphael actually starting with 13 streetlets instead of the more typical 5 Cossacks. Interesting start. He also has 10 streetlets in queue, so makes for a total of 23 streetlets. Major Dark, meanwhile, going for the stable start. So kind of the start that you'd want to go for. I guess Russians and against streetlets especially. But
there's not any hussars in queue yet, but Raphael can't be sure that there aren't hussars on the way, so he's gonna have to be a little bit careful seeing the stable from Major Dark. But he picks off 2 or even 3 villagers already, which is quite big.
Yeah, you got a nice pick off there. Hussars in queue now, but they only just started. And actually, Major Dark doesn't have enough resources to really make any more than this 1 Hussar. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a market either, so there's only 1 Hussar that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, I think Raphael knows this, that if he can force the idle time, there's not going to be a great Hussar bash from...
Yeah, only 1 Hussar coming out. And I think that's a signal to LordRaphael about what Major Dark's current position is. Of course, if Major Dark had gotten, say, 4 or 5 Hussars out, that would tell a much different story for LordRaphael, but he knows that Major Dark isn't gathering resources.
Yeah.
3 Hussar pop is going to be nice. Musketeers going into melee mode, but okay, Major Dark is going to just pull out.
Yeah, and these were the 3 hussars from that he shipped, which is gonna slow down his boom by quite a bit.
Yep.
So we actually see that Major Dark is almost housed already, and he doesn't have a market yet, so he can't even market trade for to get wood for the houses that he needs right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's also losing a few villagers, and it seems like...
and he might have houses going down, so I think he's in a quite tough position right now.
Yeah, we can actually see him moving a bunch of villagers onto the wood just because he's going to need a new house pretty soon. Minutemen coming out, but LordRaphael smartly pulling back before anything happens there. He does save the house, but at the cost of being able to call Minutemen, it's not always a great thing to be able to do. Possibly should have just waited to get a better catch there. Hussars coming in, but I think there's too many Musketeers right now for this to work.
Yeah, and even the 5 Cossacks coming in as well.
Yeah. Not too many streetlets that we've seen actually out of LordRaphael outside of those original batches. 13 shipped and then the 10 made. He actually doesn't have any in queue right now. He made a stable at some point. Yes, he has a stable and is making more Cossacks. So probably not going to be making many more streetlets during the rest of the game. Some extra Cossacks here. Maybe not too many Hussars for Major Dark. Actually, yeah, it looks like 10 or 11 Cossacks in this base right now. Picking off another couple of villagers.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold this pressure.
Yeah, only 5 Hussars for Major Dark. He does have maybe another Hussar, or maybe another 2 Hussars available. Unfortunately, yeah, he's just not been able to gather any resources. He's got a lot of gold banked up, but because he's been making several of these banks, but unfortunately, with only gold, it's not quite enough.
He has a lot of gold stacked, but he only has a stable to produce from.
Yeah, you can see he's starting to trade resources around.
He's trying to pick up the Musketeers with the... Oh, he shipped the CM.
Oh, yeah.
So he's one-shotting the Musketeers.
That might be what he needs to stabilize right now. Because, okay, he's garrisoned some villagers, but I think he actually just needs to garrison a lot more villagers in this to be able to get this one shot. He does have... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to pick off the rest of the musketeers just with the town center, and now there's only 3 left. But there's still a lot of Cossacks, and that's what's going to be keeping him from winning any real fight anytime soon. But the 10 reinforcing Strelets coming in.
Yeah, and there's boyars in as well. So the Cossacks from Raphael they can tank a lot of hits from the town center right now.
I think they would die in 2 hits because of the colonial militia, but okay, actually a batch of Minutemen coming out for Major Dark, but I think maybe not going to be enough. LordRaphael's just able to just walk away from it as well, like he did with the previous batch of Minutemen.
Yeah, he's just playing it safe. He doesn't need to fight the Minutemen. He can just fall back to his blockhouse and wait a minute before he pushes again.
Yeah. But it is going to give him a little bit of breathing room. He's going to get this house up. He's kind of drastically housed right now. He needs a couple more houses probably to be able to stabilize off this.
And it looks like Raphael is maybe opting to age instead of trying to finish it in age 2.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I think he did click the age up just there. I think he's got a military lead pretty substantial, and he can afford to age because he got so many villager kills. He's been making villagers this entire time. Getting the Minutemen off.
Definitely a good option. He could probably finish this game in age 2, but there's really no need to. He can idle a lot of the villagers with the Cossacks and then make a push with falconets in Fortress.
So Major Dark did ship the 700 food card, and that's going to let him get into H3, but unfortunately his infrastructure really isn't there. He doesn't really have enough villagers to support in H3. So it's mostly just to be able to get some of the shipments that he's going to get access to in H3, which are definitely powerful shipments, but unfortunately, he's coming into it with a pretty substantial deficit here.
Yeah, the problem is that he's only on 3 banks, so Russia is quite far ahead on eco. And he doesn't have any market text either.
Yeah, LordRaphael has hit the fortress age. He's making Strelets right now, probably going to be making a few more Cossacks. Upgrade for the Cossacks has been coming in just now. Possibly the Strelet upgrade, the SS getting started as well. So, we'll see what he goes for in H3.
Yeah, I do believe we'll see Falconets being shipped as first card.
That'd make a lot of sense, yeah. Yeah, Falconets coming in for LordRaphael. It's going to be pretty hard for Major Dark to get out of this one. I won't lie.
Yeah.
He has a few Reuters, he has a few skirmishers. The Reuters, I mean, the Strelets don't have a great range, and so he can do a lot with the Reuters just by keeping out of range of the Strelets constantly. Maybe another Reuter shipment would help him out here too. Bank is probably going to go down, but at least he'll keep his shipment points available to him, so he'll be able to make another batch of, or he'll be able to get that 9 Reuter shipment out, which he may have just sent just now. A few more Reuters also popped out from the stable. Hopefully he will continue to queue up some Reuters. LordRaphael, I think, recognizes this and is, he made a few opportunists, but he has cavalry archers in queue besides that, and that's exactly what he's going to need.
If he had nine routers as well from his home city, he could try to flank the Falconets, but we see that LordRaphael is being on point and trying to block with the Cossacks. And Raphael is even adding some Oprishniks to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, Reuters popping out, but unfortunately they popped out right into a bunch of Hussars, or Cossacks. So Major are going to call it for GG.
Yes, GG. That was very controlled by Raphael.
Yeah,
he
came in. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
He never overcommitted. He just played it safe, and instead of staying H2, he just went for the safe fortress push, which was probably a fine decision.
Yeah, we
And,
sort of saw right from the beginning when he saw only one Hussar pop out of the stable. He knew exactly how to take control of the game and never let Major Dark have a chance to stabilize. And was just constantly in his base, constantly keeping villagers off of resources, keeping Major Dark's macro imbalanced, stacking more gold, not really getting any food, keeping even a market from going up for a while.
We know that Raphael he plays a lot of Dutch himself, so we can assume that he's quite comfortable in playing versus Dutch as well. He knows what weaknesses he can exploit. So I feel like that's why he was so confident with staying that early with so many Strelets, because he knew that he could idle and make the first Hussar batch be only like 1 or 2.
So LordRaphael most likely will be returning. He probably just had to restart due to sound bug or anything like that.
Yeah,
so we'll be waiting for him to show back up.
But yeah, what civs did we see from Major Dark earlier this tournament?
Yeah, I've been trying to find that out actually. I'm not 100% sure.
I remember seeing this crazy game versus Eaglemut. He played French that game, I think.
Yeah, that was an entertaining one. The versus Eaglemut, the French versus Sioux game. I don't know if you happened to catch it.
Yeah, exactly that one.
that was a good one.
So we might see some French from him. But it's LordRaphael to first pick for the second game.
Yep. They have the lobby is up, so you can join it whenever you have a chance.
All right, Hudson Bay and LordRaphael to first pick.
Yeah, hard if you get only out one Huss on the first batch. I think LordRaphael and Major Dark both know how that one worked out. Yeah, it was interesting. I'll have to take a look at how LordRaphael macroed that, because he started with a market and nonetheless aged up before I would age up as Russians. Right, when I don't start a market. So he must...
Yeah, he had the food treasure and the 2 llamas to speed it up, which is just what you need to start market and still age on time. Yeah. He aged like almost without idle time, which is pretty good.
Yeah, it was really impressive to watch that. It was a really fast age up. Got the blockhouse down pretty much right in time. Knew even, I would think, what units to be making.
He was early on market techs as well. He had steel traps quite soon after hitting H2. So,
I'm wondering even if...
it was well performed.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it was well performed.
Yeah. I'm wondering even if the 13 Streetlet first card was a conscious choice over the 5 Cossacks, because... My thought is that because the town center is inefficient at killing Streetlets, it needs 2 shots per Streetlet. If he had gone 10 Streetlet, 5 Cossack, he would have had to pull out of the base a lot earlier, given Major Dark time to get a few more resources, make a couple of Hussars. Whereas because he did this 23 Streetlet push as his first push into the base, it kept Major Dark off the resources for a lot longer, and as a result, Major Dark was only able to get that 1 Hussar out.
Yeah. So, LordRaphael picking Sioux.
Maybe we'll see him do what he did, what Eagleman did versus Major Dark.
Oh right.
That'd be good fun.
Yeah, the TP spam.
So, for those of you who may not have seen that game, in the round of 32 of this tournament, so right before this, Major Dark played against the player Eaglemut, who picked the Sioux in game 1 on Manchuria. And Eaglemut never left his base. He just made 20 TPs, shipped all the upgrades for TPs, and just stood in his base with Wakina and Bow Riders the entire time, and Major Dark just couldn't push into it ever. Eventually, Major Dark won the game, but it took about an hour to do. And it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, that was a cool game. It must have been quite frustrating to play, at least from Major Dark's perspective. He was like trying to brute force the base of Eaglemut so many times. And we might see the same matchup coming up, knowing that Major Dark plays a bit of French. And if he's won this matchup versus Eaglemut, maybe he thinks he can win it versus Raphael too. But Raphael locking Sioux at least.
Major Dark seems a little unsure of what to pick here. I wouldn't be surprised to see French. I believe that is his main civilization. I believe he's mostly a vanilla player, and so plays a lot of the different vanilla European civs. But he on the Asian dynasties, I think he also can flexibly pick I think it's Iroquois and maybe China is what I want to say, but I might be completely wrong about that. I think he plays one native civ and one Asian civ, but I don't remember which ones they are. So a nice thing about Hudson Bay is that it is a map where a lot of different civilizations and strategies are viable.
Yeah, Sioux is definitely a strong civ on Hudson Bay, because there's a lot of good treasures, and there's a lot of treasure guardians that you can convert to make an army early in H1 and try to hunt down the enemy explorer.
I think it's a map we see in a lot of tournaments because I think it's just such a almost a classic map. Stemmed off of Saguenay back on the RE patch developed by Ensemble themselves, and a couple of flaws with Saguenay itself, just partially just due to the natural state of RE maps. But on EP it got tightened up.
It doesn't spawn very consistent.
Exactly.
But Hudson Bay is like almost flawless, I suppose.
Right. The one thing I do like about Saguenay is that you do get that extra economic building, which I appreciate.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
Yeah. And you don't get that Hudson Bay, but it's still a good map otherwise. Major Dark does go for the French, as I think we predicted. And so I think that is his most comfortable civ, and I think he's happy to pick it up. I don't think he was willing to play them on Gran Chaco because you do often want to get a TP as the French. And of course, Gran Chaco doesn't have any trading posts available except for the native ones. So I'm not surprised to see him pick it up here.
There's a bit of noise coming from your microphone.
Oh, sorry.
Now, I think.
I can work on that.
Okay, it's better now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fixed.
Okay.
Or yeah.
I'll increase my. I can do stuff.
No, it's good now.
Okay.
But yeah, LordRaphael taking a quick break, it seems. I think he played this matchup earlier in the tourney on this map as well. Also playing Sioux versus France.
Let's say. Yeah, I'm interested to see Sioux again in this tournament. I don't think that they got too much play in the last autumn tournament, but they've been. I know that the EP developers have been kind of pushing to see them get play a little bit more, because they're an interesting civ. Despite some design flaws, they're a civ that always makes for games that we don't tend to see.
On the RE patch, their problem is mainly that their eco isn't too good.
Right.
But on EP with the TP, the remade TPs, we see them a lot more.
So LordRaphael looks like he's back. He has readied up. Major Dark, we are now waiting on, and a little bit of banter between the players. I think LordRaphael knows that France is in fact Major Dark's main civilization.
Yeah.
I wonder why he might hate this match.
You only pick horrible civil. Yeah, well, you can't really blame Major Dark for disliking the matchup after the game versus Eaglemot. I remember watching that, and he was a bit frustrated during the game.
I think there were just so many engagements that looked like they were going to go perfectly for the French player, like having, 20 queers on a bunch of Wakina, and then the Wakina come out ahead, and you have to pull back again. And this happened like 10 times, and so I would imagine, he's not too enthusiastic about this matchup.
We might need to rehost this one. Or ask for... Raphael misses the top hunt.
Yeah. I'll let the players
top mine.
Yeah.
It looks like the trees completely crushed the... They just took the place of the mine.
Yeah, the spawn got a little bit bugged. I'll let the players know as soon as the game starts, just to make sure that they hear.
Yeah, we should just rehost.
If they want to. They don't have to. LordRaphael looks like he's... Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just better.
Yeah, it's a pretty clear rehost. Sometimes players are just willing to play it out, but when you're down one hunt and one mine, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Looked like the water spawned a little bit larger that time. I think because of the two islands in the middle of that water, it's there's a slightly unusual spawn, and that probably pushed off some of the hunts that might have spawned, and because they had to put the trees up. Yeah. Okay, so game 2, attempt number 2 of LordRaphael versus Major Dark in the round of 16 of the autumn tournament. LordRaphael currently leading 1-0 in the best of 5 series. And this spawn looks kind of awkward, but it seems fairer. Yeah.
Better, I think.
The water seems to have spawned in this awkward shape that makes the this top side on the left seem like it's further away than it should be. But
yeah.
I think the spawn itself is fair. So over here on the east side of the map is Major Dark playing the blue French. Meanwhile, on the western side of the map, we have LordRaphael leading 1-0, playing the red Sioux. Starting off, he's immediately moving his Explorer down. He looks like he's going to find this 80 food treasure. I don't know if he's going to go for the conversion. Looks like he is.
Yeah, he's immediately going for it because the outlaw is just super, super strong versus explorers.
Yeah, good pickup for him. Unfortunately, it's not the 95 wood treasure that I think he may have wanted to get off the 2 outlaws. It is only the 80 food, but still a good treasure. And pretty easy to pick up, and of course the outlaw is a good conversion.
It was a coin start, so I think he's actually fine with the 80 food. It's gonna help him age up maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So, want to take a quick look at his deck, and I do see the friendly territory card in it. There's with Sioux, I think it's a little bit unclear. Players haven't quite figured out like how many TPs you're supposed to be making, how effectively you're supposed to be integrating them with your army. And actually, before we finish that, treasure contention going down.
A bit of the treasure contention, and Raphael stealing 90 coin.
Yeah. Major Dark just a little bit slow to notice.
And we already see the outlaw coming into play, and that's why Sioux is just such a great save for this map.
Yeah, Major Dark has to pull back, but I think he may just get the snare off and get the explorer kill. Oh, nice. Okay. So Major Dark does pick off the outlaw. Good for him. He may still lose his explorer.
Yeah, that was quite nice. The thing is, normally you can kite with the outlaw, but I think the native scout was giving enough line of sight for the explorer to finish the crack shot, because sometimes it cancels if you pull back the outlaw.
Looks like Major Dark has garrison to try to put some damage down. The explorer doesn't go down that quickly. It's 3 damage per hit, but nonetheless, I think that LordRaphael's going to get out of this pretty close. Actually, he might have almost lost his explorer too off from that, but he does take a lot of idle time for Major Dark to do that. So. Overall, I think still a good trade in Raphael's favor.
Yeah, and I believe he's going for the 100 wood on his side of the map.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that. He's probably not going to be able to do it just directly. He'll probably have to convert and then wait a while and then convert again. He might be able to just tank it with the polar bear, but I don't think it's... Yeah. Okay, looks like he's just going to try to tank with the polar bear. Trying to do some quick math. I think that, okay, it looks like LordRaphael wins this pretty easily.
Yeah, he got it, and he's aging already. They're aging about the same time, I think.
Yeah, we see LordRaphael.
Raphael also has 150 coin on to the north of his base, but I don't think he scouted it yet.
Oh yeah, that's a good treasure to pick up. It's very lightly guarded and very easy to offers a really nice boost early on. But he's actually going for this trading post to start off with, and he still has a bunch of villagers on wood. I wonder if he's going to go for the entire trading line. He did get that explorer down, so he knows that this isn't actually contestable by Major Dark.
Yeah, but Major Dark's explorer is just up right now, so he might try to sneak. Yeah, he's laid down the foundation, but I wonder if he's gonna reach there in time. It depends on... Yeah, Major Dark is likely getting a trading post.
Well, this explorer moved off.
Yeah, he saw the low HP explorer from Raphael,
yeah.
So he was trying to intercept and maybe pick it off, but Raphael is aging any moment, so he's going to be fine. But it means that Major Dark is actually getting a trading post after all. It was looking quite rough in the early stage.
Yeah, it's pretty important actually as French to be able to pick up at least one trading post. It's pretty common now, and it's unfortunate if you lose your explorer too early in age 1, aren't able to pick it up. So
yeah,
he's going to get it, starting with a barracks as well. Somewhat interesting choice actually to go for a barracks. Can you talk a little bit about what might have motivated him to do this?
Well, if Raphael scouts the stable start, then you're kind of in a little bit of a trouble, because I think the Sioux player prefers you to start cavalry in this matchup.
I see.
So I'm not saying it's impossible to start Huss as French, but Musketeer start is just the safer option.
Okay, I see.
Because they do reasonably well versus the bow riders, as well as the axe riders.
Yeah, we see LordRaphael is going for those bow riders, and Major Dark is going for the musketeers. I guess the question becomes, how many musketeers is Major Dark going to make before he goes for the Fortress Age?
I think you want to make. I think you want to make 10 to be safe. 5 could be picked off by like 10 bow riders could easily pick off 5 musketeers.
Right. So yeah, he does have extra musketeers in the queue. LordRaphael has the 5 bow riders in queue right now. They'll probably pop out. I don't know. I guess for him, if he's going to continue to make bow riders as well. Looks like not.
He scouted the 150 coin, so he's gonna pick up the treasure first before applying any pressure.
Yep, good pick off for him. Nice treasure. He also got his replacement outlaw rifleman, so he's been doing really well with just getting all the guardian conversions done. He has a Cherokee as well, so probably looks like he picked up another nice treasure off that too. Doing really well with the treasure so far. Meanwhile, we see Major Dark. He's got he maybe only got a batch of 4 musketeers out. No, it looks like he got the full 10. He's going to be pushing it onto this trading post. Maybe not a terrible idea. It's a little tricky if LordRaphael were to continue to make units. He would be at risk of, I would say, losing all of his musketeers to, say, 10 bow riders. Because it's not a battle you can really retreat from. But it looks like LordRaphael is content to just do 5 bow riders for now.
Yeah, we see that Raphael, he was queuing more bow riders, but he decided to just cancel them and age up instead. I wonder if he... Looks like he's gonna try to kite the musketeers a bit to defend the trading post.
Yeah, I think this outlaw rifleman is what's keeping Major Dark away.
Yeah, seems so.
I think he could have won that fight with the bow riders, or Major Dark, that is, could have won the fight. LordRaphael would have been able to kite, but the range ultimately is the same, so I don't think it would have gone terribly for Major Dark.
Yeah, I think Major Dark was scared that there were any more cavalry coming.
Exactly, yeah.
So that's why he decided to pull back a bit. But we see now he's invested in 10 musks, which is quite a lot. He still hasn't clicked up to Fortress Age, so
yeah, that's actually what makes me a little scared for him.
Yeah, it's going to be scary for him. It's going to be a window for Raphael to pressure.
Okay, so he has gone for the age up, but he has, yeah, maybe it would have been better to just cut that extra 5 musketeers and go for the age up a little bit faster. He has some good infrastructure though. He's making more houses. He's got his market. He's got stable and barracks. The tech's completed for him. He's got actually steel traps and placer mines. So he's going in age 3 with a pretty good position. But there is a window here for LordRaphael to make something happen.
Yeah.
Actually, LordRaphael making 5 Sioux prowlers.
Is going for prowlers. I don't think I've seen these units too often in play. Rifle riders are a bit more common, I think, at least to send, maybe not train them. But
I see the motivation though, because
Raphael gonna be able to pick up a lot of musketeers, I think.
Yeah, a good decision as well to start picking off some musketeers before. I mean, once the musketeers are complemented with skirmishers, they're a lot more effective. But if he's able to keep the army small because he has the army advantage right now, I think it's good for him. The Sioux Prowlers, I think it's a smart decision just because he knows the Explorer's dead because he killed it. And it's actually going to be really hard for Major Dark to ever get that Explorer back, as long as LordRaphael stays on this eastern side of the map. As a result, I'm not... the Sioux Prowlers is an unusual decision, but I see why he's going to go for it, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Looks like 10 out right now. He shipped the Marauders card. I don't know what that does, but I believe it's an upgrade to your Tashunk Prowlers. I'll look up what this card does. Ah, okay. It's just a build limit increase. Okay, so you can make I think the limit is 12, but then with this card you can go to 18. And looks like
and he also has the card that costs 1k coin that gives you 5 prowlers and boosts them as well.
Yeah, so we got a few couriers killed off just there, but he did reveal possibly that the chunks are out. Actually, okay, now Major Duck definitely knows that they're out. So he's going to have to pull back here, putting some of them in stealth, but not all of them got into stealth in time. And actually, these chunks are moving really fast now in stealth.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an upgrade to them that makes them move faster, because they weren't moving that quickly before.
Oh, and the raid at the bottom mine.
Yeah, another nice pick off for LordRaphael. Turns out that the chunks also have some area of effect attack, and that makes them even more effective at raiding. Gonna lose a couple of them, but I think he's happy to make that trade.
Yeah, we see more raiding in the back of the base of Major Dark, and he might lose. Oh, he's moving the CDBs on the one of the hunts.
Yeah, looks like Major Dark queuing up more Dragoons. He ships another 5 just there, so that I guess with 15, I mean, it's good to make sure that basically you're keeping the raids from happening too much. Or as long as you have Dragoons in position around your villagers, or you're able to get picks off like this, I think that is the correct response to the chunks out.
Yeah, we see Raphael is trying to get a raid on the bottom side again.
Yeah,
and
Major Dark just
finally mixing some Wakina rifles.
Yeah, was it just the 8 shipped or 9 shipped? It looks like he doesn't have a war hut available to him yet. Major Dark actually shipping another 4 Dragoons with the shipment. He has a pretty good Dragoon mass right now, but LordRaphael doesn't really have to raid if he doesn't want to. I think that Major Dark right now, he's put all his villagers pretty much next to the rest of his army, and that's probably where they're going to be staying for a while, because he knows that LordRaphael is a good opportunity to take down any raid. Looks like, okay, Major Dark pulls off just in time there.
I feel like he wants to push, but he's afraid that Raphael will just raid him if he chooses to do so.
Yeah. Possibly he could just leave a few Dragoons back and try to push with the rest of his army, because LordRaphael's army isn't that scary. It's mostly bow riders and Wakina, but not that many of either one.
That's true.
Okay, here's going for the attack there. Actually, a really good timing on this one. Right before, or right as Major Dark is trying to push out, and right before the outpost goes up. So another good raid. Unfortunately, Major Dark's sitting at only 23 recalculated population, so not even 23 villagers. Meanwhile, LordRaphael at 40 villagers. Unfortunately, the Sioux eco takes a while to get going, and so his economic lead isn't the largest one we've seen in this tournament so far, but it is still pretty substantial.
Yeah, if the recalculated he's so far ahead compared to France. How many wills did France lose? He lost 15. He lost 15 CDBs, which is absolutely huge.
Alright, so we see LordRaphael's put up a few TPs on this next to his hunts, and his Wakina are in position to make use of them. Nice actually set up both of the angle of the TPs to be a guard for his villagers against any raids, but also in position where he's both hunting and fighting in the same place, which means that he's getting both bonuses, both the economic and the military bonus from them. So the Wakina are going to be doing great in this fight just because they have all this extra HP, and there's still a lot of musketeers around too.
Yeah, and we see that meanwhile, Raphael is just continuing to raid. So Major Dark, he doesn't really have access to that many hunts that are safe to gather from.
Yeah, another raid going down actually for LordRaphael. Major Dark doesn't quite notice in time and loses another set of villagers. Down to 18 total couriers, 22 recalculated. So another great raid. Here's a fight going down for Major Dark, and I think his Dragoon count is enough, but he still probably wants to pull back out of this one because the Wakina are about to show up.
Yeah, he does have a lot of skirms though, and I still think that the French skirms are stronger than the Wakinas.
Let's see, yeah. So 20 attack and 116 HP to 18 attack and 144 HP. I think, yeah, the French skirmishers do come out a little bit ahead in that one.
I feel like maybe he's a bit afraid after the last game from versus Eaglemot.
Yeah.
He's a bit afraid to take trades nearby the TPs, but right now or at least a few minutes ago, he could have taken a bit more trades versus the Wakinas.
Yeah, I think one thing to remember is that Eaglemot had to ship 2 cards to make those TPs the way they were. Both so he could make the huge number, and also so that they could upgrade the attack of the units. LordRaphael has currently not shipped either of those cards, and as such, the TPs aren't as effective as they were with Eaglemot. And so these are fights that Major Dark could possibly take.
Yeah, he's being a bit too passive, and I think if he must know that Raphael is ahead on eco after losing a large number of CDBs. So I think he should play a bit more aggressive. We might see him pushing right now.
He's pushing, but meanwhile LordRaphael is actually pushing on the other side, and unfortunately 2 more CDBs getting picked off by the Wakina there. This town center is in a nice position, but if it doesn't go up, then it's actually unfortunate for Major Dark. Fight going here, there's not actually any TPs to defend these Wakina, but it may just be enough for LordRaphael just to smash all those units in and just go for the attack move here.
Yeah, we see the bow riders. They have 2 cards already, I think.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, okay, bow riders are substantially better than dragoons at this point with the cards. That's,
definitely.
Pretty much a better attack and also almost, or actually more than 100 HP advantage. So these are looking very strong, even after actually the nerf that they received in EP. Bow riders are looking pretty good.
Yeah, we might see Minutemen coming out, but I still think Raphael has the superior army and should be able to push right now.
The town center does go up for Major Dark, which is nice, and he does call the Minutemen out of them, but it still might not be enough. LordRaphael actually.
Did you see how long the Outlaw survived? Is that the same age?
Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's still on 8 HP, still making a lot of damage. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Okay, yeah, Major Dark calls GG. I think, unfortunately for him, it's going to be hard for him to win that after losing all those villagers.
Yeah, he was off to a rough start, but he was still able to get the trading post. But yeah, the raiding just completely, yeah, the villain. The raiding completely crushed him this game, unfortunately. Yeah, we see maybe he was ahead in military in early Fortress, but maybe he could have tried to push and force something, but he was always being kept busy by the raids.
Yeah, I think it's possible that, firstly, he maybe made a few too many musketeers in Colonial. Maybe didn't push as aggressively as he could, because he had that advantage. Although it would have been tough because if LordRaphael had stayed in Colonial a little longer, then he would have lost all his musketeers.
Yeah.
And then is possibly just a little too defensive against the Tushunk Prowlers when he could have kept some units back next to his villagers and pushed out with the rest of his units. And maybe he needed to concentrate his villagers a little bit more as well. If all your villagers are in one place, it's a lot easier to defend them rather than having to spread out. And it's not something that's great to do. You kind of don't want to put all your villagers in one place because then you have to manage them and they gather resources very quickly. But I suspect that any villagers he didn't have under protection were going to die. And unfortunately... Yeah. It's better to have all your villagers in one place, gathering out all the resources, than having not any villagers at all. So we're gonna go into game 3 between these two players.
Is there a lobby? Yes, there is.
Yep. I see RSY is online. Maybe Hidi, his opponent, is not quite online, but we'll probably go into their game. Hopefully they'll be willing to wait for this series to end before we go into their game. But possibly they might have to start if this runs too late. So Major Dark is the one to be picking now. The map, I believe, is High Plains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, another map I quite like.
Yeah. But Major Dark, he's also at a disadvantage now because he's picking his Civ before LordRaphael.
Definitely, yeah. Let the players know High Plains is next and Major Dark on the
Oh, and it looks like Gibson and Master Dutch finished their series.
Okay, great. What was the? Do you know the score for that?
I think they had some issues with the games, but it looks like Master Dutch won it 2-0.
Okay.
But Gibson wrote that his game crashed in the middle of both games.
Okay. But was he able to finish the game out, or?
I'm not sure. They have one recording, but it doesn't say who won the game. So. Alright, Major Dark thinking about his pick. And there's no reset yet, so he can't play Dutch or France again.
Yep.
By the way, who will face the winner of this series? Will face Sompu Kunku, right?
Oh, really? Okay, nice. So yeah, we can take a little bit of time to look at the brackets right now. I think that all the round of 8 matches, except for this one, have been decided. So
Yeah.
looks like at the top we've got Kaiser Klein versus Snow, and that,
All right.
that's
Yeah, there's some pretty good
exciting
games
one, yeah.
coming up.
The Mito versus Haza, another exciting one.
Indeed.
Of course, we've got you versus Kanisi in the round of 8, which I'm looking forward
we'll
to.
be playing on Thursday, I think.
Nice. And then yes, the winner of this goes on to face Sampu Kanku. The winner of that would go on to face the winner of you and Kanisi. And then...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering exactly when these matches are scheduled. So you were saying yours is for Thursday. I'm wondering if the other players have set up their matches yet.
I think Maito and Hassa decided to play during the weekend, maybe Saturday or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. It's good when they schedule for a weekend.
Yeah. All right, he's picking Otto.
Okay, nice. I could see it on this map. Admins, of course, loves to get their trading posts, and this is one of the largest number of trading posts on an EP map.
Yeah.
LordRaphael saying, "Oh man, you took my pick."
To be honest, I was expecting Raphael to pick Otto, but I don't think he wants to mirror it.
Oh, he didn't lock. Okay. So we'll see. Haza saying in the chat he'll be playing versus Mito on Friday, but not sure, not confirmed yet. That would be pretty good. Friday is decent.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll give Major Dark a little bit longer to make his selection.
And we see Castete in the chat.
Yeah.
He's agreeing that he threw the game versus Turk.
Yeah, this poor Castet, he came up just a little bit short.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him win the game. I think he deserved to win the second game at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did well at least in both games, I think.
Yeah. I'm sure. I know he practices a lot, and I'm sure that he will be getting much better in the future, and probably won't even have to play in second chance in the next tournament.
Turk is probably one of the strongest player in the second chance tournament.
Yeah.
I think maybe Turk. We have Dictator, and Lucas also is probably some of the stronger players in the second chance tournament.
I have noticed that I think Lucas and Dictator are playing against each other now in the second chance. The brackets kind of put them against each other. Oh no, okay. So actually, Dictator and B winner play. The winner of that goes on to play the winner of Lucas and Luktam. Also, both actually pretty strong players. So that entire like side of the bracket just is going to eliminate like 3 incredibly good players.
Well, Major Dark.
Yeah. We are going to have to tell him that he's going to have to lock somewhat soon.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Let's try to green up and see if he...
yeah, just apply some pressure.
Yeah, the pressure, the ready up pressure.
It's like when you're in a team game and it's 5 out of 6 people are all greened up, and you're just trying to finish up your deck, but you gotta finish it up quickly and green up, because otherwise everyone's gonna get mad. Then they start spamming the 31 taunt until you green up. So we'll give Major Dark a couple more minutes, but if he doesn't green up pretty soon, we'll just have to say, okay, we have to call it at some point.
Okay, he's switching to Brits and blocking Brits as well.
Fair enough. I think that LordRaphael will be... Oh, okay, he's going to go for the Brits as well.
Alright, Brit Mirror on high plane. That's not something you see every day.
No, it's not. I think LordRaphael changed from one British city to a different one. That's my guess. I think maybe he just... sometimes if you have multiple home cities, it's hard to remember which one's which. But he is on the British right now. Possibly just verifying that he has a deck.
Alright, we're ready to go.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah. So, LordRaphael versus Major Dark, round of 16 in the autumn 2018 tournament. This is LordRaphael leading up 2-0 in the best of 3. Both players are playing the British. Sorry, best of 5. Not best of 3.
Yeah, and a Brit Mirror on high planes. Checking hunts real quick, they seem to be fair.
Yep.
Which is quite important in a Brit Mirror. You do not want to be 1 hunt down in at 10 minutes mark or something like that.
So I've noticed that Brit Mirrors can go one of 2 ways. They either end really quickly, where say one player just sends 6 musks in and crushes the other person, or they can go on forever, because both players go with the musket war and then neither of them are able
You
to
play
get
a bit
damage.
of Brits, don't you? Did you play Brit Mirror a lot?
No, it's something I want to play more, but I haven't practiced it that much. It's a mirror.
Okay.
It's a match that matchup that I like a lot, but it's not one that I play too much. So both players did get a wood start. It looks like Major Dark going for the double manor, LordRaphael actually going for the trading post to start with instead. Interesting divergence of builds. I understand why LordRaphael would want to go for it though, because it is a good map for trading posts. I see that in his deck we have 3 villagers and Virginia Company, and I could see him just going for the 3 villager Virginia Company build. Major Dark, meanwhile,
yeah, definitely.
Same cards, 3 villagers and Virginia Company, but I think it's less likely that he'll ship both. He'll probably just send 3 villagers because he already made 2 manors.
Yeah, we see he shipped a card already, so he's likely sending the 3 villagers followed by Virginia Company, since you get the early pass on this with this trading post.
Right. Yeah, we do see that both players, their populations are set to have 3 villagers shipped. LordRaphael getting this 80 wood treasure as well. Nice pickup for him. It's basically a free house if he goes for Virginia Company.
Indeed.
And taking a quick look at the remaining treasures, I think the 80 wood might have been the best one on the map. We have the 320 XP, that's a little hard to take, and a scout, and it looks like, yeah, the 70 coin is the last like good resource treasure pickup, I think.
Yeah, this was quite a poor treasure spawn. Sometimes you have the 130 food.
Yeah, that's the good one. Yeah.
And there's usually also some CDB treasures.
Yeah, or a villager treasure. You could buy the 5 coyotes, which is always nice as well.
Yeah, we see Major Dark is aging a bit earlier than LordRaphael.
Yeah, makes sense given
the
the
food to click up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, he clicked up just now. And I don't know if LordRaphael got his second shipment or not. I believe he has, and so I think he has sent Virginia Company. He's clicking up as well, a little bit behind, but Major Dark, meanwhile, dropping that market. LordRaphael, I think, yeah, all of his villagers are on wood right now. Gonna most likely just go for a huge number of houses off Virginia Company. Not worried too much about the market just yet.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see some forward base coming from Major Dark.
Yeah, we can see it. He has that villager gone forward. Placed not too aggressively, but right. I think the more aggressive placement would be on this side.
Yeah.
But still aggressively, and I could see him go for something here. Maybe it's...
We see that Raphael, he didn't scout this hunt yet, but with the help of the native, he scouts it, and I believe he's going to start to herd it already.
Yeah, no villager going out just yet, but he probably wants to get that herded in at some point. It's pretty important as Brits to have hunts, and yeah, it looks like that. Oh, okay, no, just going for some more herding of the current hunt. He's got 60 mana pop right now. 2 more houses going up for him. I don't know if he's going to be able to finish up all the houses before Major Dark gets into his base. Major Dark, we do see the outpost wagon going up and the barracks as well. Outpost wagon going even further forward than the barracks is. Yeah, unfortunately, actually, for Major Dark, I think that if he had known that LordRaphael was going for this Virginia Company, he would have placed a lot of this stuff a lot more aggressively. And actually did this barracks?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, he pulled 1 villager off the barracks.
I wonder if Raphael will even drop a barracks yet, or if he'll just slam down more manors, because he's building a wall with them.
Right.
So it's going to be a bit awkward for Major Dark to push with any infantry.
Yeah, we see even more manors. 700 wood as the first card in Age 2 for LordRaphael, as well as Major Dark, but LordRaphael is continuing to make manors off of it. Major Dark, meanwhile, he's got 5 musketeers. He didn't send 6 musketeers as his first card, so he knows that he can't be too aggressive. It looks like he's trying to herd away some of the hunts, which is a good late game decision, right? Even hunts like this at the front, pretty much LordRaphael's hunts. If he's herding them away, it's going to help him out later on.
But yeah, Raphael is almost max manor.
Nice wall going on as well. Not the tight wall that we see Diaruga tend to do, where like you can't put any units through the manors, but still pretty tight, hard to path through.
Yeah, at least he has some manors a bit further out, so he sees any aggression that's coming from Major Dark.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, it's a really nice placement out of LordRaphael. You have some manners that are forward, so you know exactly where the units are at all times. But you have this very, very difficult to penetrate wall of manners that keeps basically you get both line of sight and defense.
Yeah, and he has like 2 large hunts squeezed in close to the tower and the town center, making it really awkward for Major Dark to pick off any wheels.
Interestingly, LordRaphael has picked up this 210 XP treasure, so doing really well.
It looks like he's just going straight to Fortress without making a single military unit. That's and it looks like he's getting away with it as well.
Yeah. It's not something you tend to see a lot in British mirrors, but actually, I mean, British in general don't often go to Fortress if they can help it. But it looks like LordRaphael did go for it, and yeah, Major Dark hasn't really been able to punish it at all. He has gotten a decent number of villagers. It's 5 because of that 5 villager shipment. It's 35 to 37. Slightly in LordRaphael's favor, but not drastically, despite the Virginia Company houses. So Major Dark has kept up mostly economically. Of course, LordRaphael does have access to that 5 villager card still, and so LordRaphael at any point can eclipse Major Dark again. Interestingly, LordRaphael has gone for the church and sent the church unique card, so I think we could see the Black Watch coming out.
The Highlanders?
I believe, they're Highlanders.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I believe in Age 3 you get access to the Highlanders called the Black Watch, and then in Age 4 you get access to Roger's Rangers, which are skirmishers.
Yeah. Actually, LordRaphael, he picked up the 210 XP treasure that was on Major Dark's side of the map, which is quite nice. So I think he just did it with only his Explorer, by just crackshotting a Outlaw Rider and then returning a bit later.
Yeah, Major Dark actually, meanwhile, did get the 320 XP treasure. I think he did it with all of his musketeers. He probably did a crack shot, then killed with a bunch of musketeers. So
yeah,
good
that's
for
a
him
good
to
thing
pick that up. Yeah,
while you're idling or instead of idling your military.
Yeah. So LordRaphael has hit up. He does have a shipment available to him, and I think I might have missed if he called the unique church Black Watch, but he doesn't have that many resources available to him, so I'm guessing that he did call on the shipment. We'll see what he sent as his card. Yeah, it looks like the Black Watch. I'm trying to count how many skirmishers or Highlanders that is. It looks like 9. Let me actually check. 8 Highlanders, okay. And then I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 Falconets come out as the first card in Age 3 for LordRaphael. Major Dark, meanwhile, trying to follow up into Fortress, but it's going to be a little late. And LordRaphael does have a time limit here.
The outpost might buy him some time, but with the Falconets, it's going to go down much quicker, and then LordRaphael might look to push the base of Major Dark.
Yeah, we do have the 2 Falconets that are moving into position. Gonna take down this outpost. It's not gonna last that long. Or at least Major Dark knows what's happening. He sees the Highlanders, he sees the Falconets, so he knows the entirety of Raphael's composition, and he has time to prepare. The question is going to be if he's gonna have enough. Is he gonna go for a stable to try to take down the Falconets and then move in with musketeers, or is he just gonna go for a musket-heavy composition and try to just have more units than LordRaphael does when the fight comes? It looks like he's going for the former option right now.
That his barracks are super exposed.
Yeah.
He might lose both of them, which is gonna prevent him from upgrading his musketeers.
We see LordRaphael went for the veteran longbowman upgrade. He hasn't upgraded his musketeers yet, and it doesn't look like he's planning to. So it's a pretty heavy longbow composition out of him. Meanwhile, Major Dark has not that many longbows, plenty of musketeers. I would expect him to go for the musket upgrade, and hopefully for him he'll be able to do it before the barracks goes down. It might be actually a little close.
He has the veteran musketeer in queue right now because he's added quite a few musketeers.
Yeah. I think, yeah, Major Dark's just going to have to make another barracks somewhere. Okay, he does have another barracks available to him. He is probably going to queue up that veteran musketeer at any moment. But yeah, even with these musketeers, it might not be enough. It's going to be a hard fight for him to win.
Yeah, we see that Major Dark's his food income has totally disappeared. He has 0 villagers on food right now.
So here's the Falconets, but actually they're not going to get the shot off. Oh no. I think only one shot off, but then both Falconets go down. Not great for Major Dark at all. LordRaphael was quick on the reaction. The Falconets popped out in front, and LordRaphael took them down.
Yeah, it was a bit careless from Major Dark because he knew there were Falconets from LordRaphael. So yeah, now it's looking pretty dark.
Yeah, here's the units. LordRaphael doesn't actually have that many units here, but I think with the Falconets it's going to be enough. Minutemen doing some good work, taking down one of the Falconets, probably going to take down another, but huge Falconet shot coming out from Major Dark, or from LordRaphael, but just there. And I think that this is going to be enough for LordRaphael to clean up. Another 9 musketeers, or actually 10 musketeers coming in. Major Dark maybe just wants to put a few of those musketeers at the melee though to take down that Falconet.
Yeah, but meanwhile he's getting raided
at
the hunt.
Yeah, and that Falconet's still living with 14 HP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he takes it down actually.
But yeah, Raphael is winning the fight as well as killing the wills of Major Dark. So I do believe we'll see Major Dark call it a game pretty soon.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat expected at this point. Unfortunately, he is behind in every metric, and
yeah.
He's rebuilt his musketeer count somewhat, and there are no falconets, so it's not completely hopeless for him. He is down about 12 villagers, about 24 military population, but it's a pretty big map. There's a lot of opportunities to kill villagers from various angles. Maybe taking this fight is not what he wants to be doing, because there are actually more musketeers out for Major Dark than there are LordRaphael than there are for Major Dark, and so he can't really take any straight up fight.
He also has the musketeer upgrade, so he's gonna be taking much better trades.
Yep. And then the Hessian Jaegers. Yeah. So I'm wondering, I think it's Jaegers that you can ship, and then you get skirmishers from the church as well if you go up to H4. Jaegers, I don't think we tend to see them out of British too much. They're not unheard of, I think.
It's quite unstandard.
Yeah.
But they're gonna do pretty good versus this musketeer longbow.
Right. Yeah, a lot of LordRaphael's villagers are getting kind of spread out, but he's guarding with musketeers himself, or maybe he's actually putting a raid down on some of the villagers of Major Dark. LordRaphael is pushing into Major Dark space. A lot of longmen out for Major Dark right now, but they're not quite in position, or they're spending a lot of time walking and not firing. And the Jaegers, I think, are going to clean this up for LordRaphael.
Yeah, this is looking like the last stand for Major Dark. A few villagers going down, and he calls the game.
Okay, yeah. LordRaphael taking it 3-0. Kind of the result that we were expecting. I mean, LordRaphael is one of the best players in the game right now, and so I think this was probably the most expected. Yeah, it was a bit one-sided, but I think LordRaphael was obviously the favorite coming into this game. It was a nice build he did with the Virginia company and straight to Fortress. It's not something you see every day. just doing a quick coordination about the next games. Major Dark, he did lose this, but we will still be seeing more of him in Second Chance. And hopefully we will see more of him in the future tournaments.
He still put up an okay fight. We see he was actually ahead on resource gathered during most of this game.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting, but he was just behind on tech. You could say, like he aged so much later than LordRaphael, which made it hard for him to win this game.